Even days later, tensions remain high after violent clashes between white supremacists and protesters in Charlottesville. CNN's Karin Caifa joining us live from Charlottesville right now with an update on the situation. I am guessing at this point you're standing, Karin, in the middle of an uneasy calm.
You're absolutely right, Kevin. The word that we've heard from the mayor and the vice mayor of Charlottesville is rebuilding, re-strengthening, and moving forward. Last night, there was a large community meeting here in town. Also here in this very park, a small gathering of clergy. So being mindful of what happened over the weekend, but also about moving forward and how they can prevent something like this from happening again here. Now, of course, Charlottesville is just the center point of these discussions that are taking place, these protests and these rallies that are taking place across the country. It's inspired a number of vigils from Portland to New Jersey last night and over the weekend. And so lots of questions remain here in Charlottesville, but uneasy calm, you are absolutely right, as the community tries to sort out what happened here and the police try to review what they could have done a little bit better, Kevin.
Hey, Karin, were you there yesterday? I'd like to know, what was the mood there before the president made his additional statements yesterday, and then after? Was there any acceptance at all in Charlottesville?
Well, there has been, and the mayor, for example, was one person who was very sharply critical of the president for not calling out these groups directly. And afterwards yesterday, he was asked about his response to the president. He said, "I am glad that the president said that. I appreciate that the president said that. But right now, it's time to move forward and rebuild this community in the wake of what happened here." Of course, that young woman, Heather Heyer, the victim, the 32-year-old woman who was struck when that suspect drove that car into that group of counter-protesters on Saturday. There is a lot of reflection on her memory. And actually, this very park, Emancipation Park, which once was named after the Confederate General Robert E. Lee, until not so long ago, that name change was made. We've seen some makeshift poster board signs go up declaring this Heather Heyer Park, strategically placed over the name Robert E. Lee on the statue that sits behind me. So while many are appreciative of the president's remarks and many believe that they came a little bit too late, they still want to move forward from that controversy and see what they can do about rebuilding this community, Kevin.
What people need to understand, too, especially in many parts of the South, is there are still many reminders of the Confederacy in the form of flags and statues, and we saw the violence around the statues yesterday as well.
Absolutely. This is a conversation that is taking place in many places in the South, especially. Just last night, we saw a group of folks in Durham, North Carolina, take down a Confederate statue outside the Durham County Courthouse. So this conversation is something that's already present in a lot of these towns in the South, but has really been exacerbated and brought to the forefront after these events that took place over the weekend. Of course, Charlottesville, a college town, so you have a lot of people who are eager to express their opinions. And so there is a lot of conversations happening here right now. Like I mentioned, that large town meeting that took place last night, where you had people from a variety of groups coming forward to address their opinions about what happened over the weekend, the best way to proceed, what could have been done better. There's been a little bit of criticism from both sides on what the police could have done better. Could they have intervened a little bit earlier in what happened on Saturday? So a lot of discussions being prompted, but for the most part here right now, Kevin, quiet and peaceful as they go through a lot of these questions.
All right, even from here in Toronto, prayers for Charlottesville this morning. Karin Caifa, thank you very much for this.